Hello, thanks very much for joining me today. We're going to continue with the fly shop theme, and in the vise what you see is a Bibio heather fly. It was designed at Brenig for the ant fall, and I'm going to show you how I would tie it. I don't have all the ingredients for Wayne's fly, but I'm going to make do with what I've got once more. And at the end, if you stay tuned to the end, you'll see me tackling the whip finish tool. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in the vise we have the Hackle H230 barbless hook at size 10. It's a medium wire hook. Although this is a dry fly, I didn't want to use a dedicated dry fly hook because it's meant for the reservoirs. You're looking to catch rainbow trout between 2 and 3 pounds, and on 7 weight, 8 weight rods, a dry fly hook would just straighten out in the reservoir. So this medium hook is ideal for that purpose. The thread I'm going to be using for this fly is the Vivus. It's the E01 at 80, and as you can see, it's a black thread. And I'm just going to get a little bit of wax onto my thread before I start. And I'll get a wrap of thread down. So I'm just starting in behind the eye and using my rat's tail as a guide. I'm going to put a body of thread down onto the shank. I'll take that all the way up to just before the barb would be on a B160, Camazan B160, which is, I think, is what has been used on the original pattern that I was sent. And I'm now going to tie in my rib. I'm using the Vineyards French. It's a silver wire and it's number 27 if you're looking out for the exact thing, but a very small silver wire. I've already got a little bit off here that I'm going to catch in on my side, the length of the body. So just take that up, and I'm just going to use open turns to hold it into place because we're going to use some dubbing on our finished body. So that's the rib in place, and for the body, I dare say it's black seal's fur that Wayne's used on his fly. I'm going to use some the Andrew Scruffy dubbing, and this is the black claret. So it's not seal's fur, but it is a manufactured mix. So it's very similar qualities, maybe just a little bit more natural in it than I would like for this kind of pattern. But as I say, it's what I've got. I've got to do a bit of stocking up actually on various bits, and seal's fur is one of them things. Finding good stuff's quite hard to get a hold of nowadays actually, but I'm sure there'll be plenty at the BFFI. So I've dubbed that on, probably about 3 inches just off camera there, the dubbing that I've put on, and I'm going to now work that up the body of the hook. Don't want a dead thick body, but nice and even. Now that's the perfect length. Just going to move some of the longer fibres out the way, because what I want to do is add my little red spot, the hot spot if you like. Now again, I dare say Wayne's used red seal's fur. I'm going to use some of the Hen's micro flash, and it's number 8 if you're you must know the exact thing. But red seal's fur, probably just as good, if not better. So I'll just dub that on. You don't need much of this. It is quite literally a hot spot, and it needs to be around the same width as the body. Now I've left plenty of room at the front here. If you notice there, I've got about 1/8 of an inch between the eye of my hook and my red material. So I'll give it one more turn, pull everything back out the way, and then I can simply bring my rib up in the opposite direction to the way I took my dubbing, and I want to try and keep my turns nice and even all the way up the fly. If it doesn't look right, don't be afraid to go back with your rib and just get it down to where you want it. So I've cut that in. I'm going to come over, a couple of turns, then while holding the thread under tension, I'm just going to bend away my wire rib. Now I'm just putting another couple of turns in, because what I'm going to do next is invert my vise, and I'm going to add the legs. Now Wayne's used red legs, and I've already found what's left of my red pheasant tail here, and I've stripped a couple of bits off, and I've taken, I'll just show you one here. I've taken 2 long fibres and just tied a knot there. I believe you can buy these pre-knotted, but and I have got them for black, which I use mostly, but for the red I've had to painstakingly do it by hand. I only need a couple for this fly though, and I've pre-tied them to save a bit of time on the video. So here they are. I've got them together, and I want them tied just so that the legs are hanging down towards the hook point. So I'm just laying them up. Sorry if my fingers are in the way, can't be helped. Once I've got them into position, I can secure them in. Then with my snips, I can come in and just remove my waste. So I'm just going to invert my vise back round, the right way round, and I can lock that off. So we're the right way up again. And next I'm going to tie in my wing. I'm using some CDC feathers from Hackle. These are the dark grey, they're a natural, it's a natural plume. I've selected 4 feathers and lined them up, and I put them neatly to the side here, and they've all gone and fell over. So I need to just realign them tips, if you bear with me. Now, there we go, that's good enough for government work. Now the original fly, which I'll bring up in a sec, it slightly overhangs the body. So that's what I'm looking for when I dress up the CDC to the body. Just want it to slightly overhang. So once I've measured it up, I can make the cut. It's better to show it up twice, like I did there, and get it right, than have a quick go, cut it, and find that you're too short. I'm just going to add a little bit more wax to my thread. Help bed this in. Bring it all the way to the front. And I'm just going to put a little half hitch in here to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So that's looking pretty good so far. And if I find the original fly, you can see it's got quite a bushy wing. A lot of feathers there, as it's designed more for the reservoirs, and sometimes it can be a bit choppy out there on the big waters. So I've done likewise. I've added there's probably 5 plumes in this actually. I've done 4, but I think it's adequate. So to finish off then, I'm going to add some Spectre dubbing. This is the Hens 45. You don't need very much. And I'm going to just dub that on, and very carefully put to the side what I've not used, because this is some of the original stuff and it's quite difficult to get a hold of nowadays. So that's going to do it for the fly, and I'm going to go up my head in a big open turn, and then come back down towards the eye of the hook. And this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's the whip finish tool, and that's how you use a whip finish tool. So once you've done your whip finish, if you can't use a whip finish tool and you feel inadequate, you can always use the half hitch, which will generally not let you down. Once that's in place, trim it away. Just a little spot of super glue to finish off. And if you like, you can use your dubbing brush just to tease out a little bit of the fibre at the front. Don't want too much. And the job's a good one. I'd quite happily fish this fly on any big reservoir when there are rise on. I think it will bring fish up, no problem at all. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so, and I'll hopefully see you next time.